Life as a man is exceptionally difficult. Listen up. If you ignore what I'm about to share, you'll miss the absolute truth about building yourself into the man you're destined to be. The very end. That's where the real game changer lies. You cannot miss it. Society doesn't give you value just for existing. Your worth as a man is built on how useful you become. This might sound terrifying, but it's also the most beautiful opportunity you have. You're born with a blank slate, given the chance to forge yourself into a superhero, but only if you're prepared to put in relentless hard work and refuse to quit. Waiting for handouts will earn you zero respect. Many people have simply forgotten how brutally competitive and challenging life is for men. We are always, constantly in competition, and it's your absolute duty to rise up. You must strive to be as important, strong, good-hearted, and God-fearing as possible, understanding that achieving this requires immense effort. Here's a hard truth. Overly emotional men are genuinely dangerous. While some endlessly debate toxic masculinity, a truly masculine man acts based on duty, not fleeting feelings. He charges into a burning building because it's his duty, not because he feels like it. But we're teaching new generations of men that duty doesn't matter, that they can simply act on every impulse and feeling. The terrifying consequence. Men who lack emotional control become violent, capable of unthinkable acts like school shootings. A stoic man, one who masters his emotions, thinks carefully, provides for his family and protects them. A man driven by impulse becomes a destructive force. Encouraging men to cry constantly or act solely on their emotions without self-control is why society faces so many problems today. This misguided advice completely inverts the true meaning of strength and responsibility. We urgently need to teach young men stoicism, to accept that life is difficult, that feeling bad is normal, and that you must suck it up and perform regardless rather than blaming others or giving in to self-pity. When things go wrong, when danger strikes, who do you call? Firefighters, police. You call masculine men, men who step up because it's their duty to protect and provide for those they care about, even when they're afraid. They stayed on the Titanic understanding their purpose. The real epidemic gripping the world isn't toxic masculinity. It's an epidemic of cowardice. Everyone is so paralyzed by fear, yet true respect is earned on the other side of that fear by doing the very things others are too afraid to attempt. I faced fear countless times, whether stepping into the ring or the cage. It's scary, but by confronting it repeatedly, you gain respect. Bravery isn't the absence of fear. It's being terrified but doing what needs to be done anyway. You can be as scared as you want, but you still have to go. Think of life as a video game where you continuously go through trials, struggles, and tribulations to upgrade your character. Each upgrade, each increase in your stats allows you to tackle more difficult levels. Life is no different. The levels never end, but as you grow stronger, your chances of completing them increase. That's the profound beauty of being a man. Many complain about how hard things are, but difficulty is precisely what gives something value. If it were easy, everyone would have it, and it would mean nothing. Complaining about how hard it is to achieve greatness, while simultaneously valuing that greatness, is a logical failure. If you aspire to be that incredible character you dream of, you should embrace the difficulty because it means few others can achieve it. There is no light without dark, no appreciation for a six-pack without the arduous journey to earn it. This is simply how the world works. If you're not prepared for this demanding journey, then retreat into a comfortable, unremarkable life, existing in the shadows while other men truly live and enjoy the spoils of their effort. You can choose to be forgotten by history, or you can choose to level up. To truly evolve, you need to surround yourself with brave men, develop courage, build your network, humble yourself, and shed your ego. Recognize that you are lucky. Blind chance has given you a favorable hand, and wasting it is a betrayal of that luck. The world is constantly trying to convince you to act solely on your feelings, to embrace emotional vulnerability as your primary mode of being. While it's natural to cry sometimes, as I did when my own father passed away, this isn't and shouldn't be a man's default state. They encourage this emotionality because Often you won't feel like doing the demanding things you're supposed to do. Yet, the masculine ideal throughout history has always been about doing what must be done, even when undesired, because of honor and duty. The men on the Titanic stayed, not because they wanted to, but because it was their duty to allow women and children onto the lifeboats. This is masculine duty. Removing self-control from men doesn't just create weak, emasculated individuals. It creates genuinely dangerous ones. While society pushes for you to be more in touch with your feelings, remember that men have innate desires for conquest and a biological predisposition towards anger. Those dangerous individuals, like school shooters, are precisely men who lack self-control and cannot master their emotions. A good man, a truly powerful man, controls himself completely. My actions are always conscious decisions, never driven by unchecked anger. Emotional control is paramount for a man. This doesn't mean becoming a dull, lifeless stoic without personality. It means understanding that as a man, you operate under certain principles, regardless of how you feel. I can wake up miserable, sad, aching, stressed, and I will still complete the exact same tasks as if I woke up in a fantastic mood. My feelings have no bearing on my duties to myself and my legacy. So many men act like fools because they feel like it. They complain about a lack of motivation for the gym. The newsflash is, I don't always feel motivated either, but I still do it. Being scared to step into the ring or the cage. So was I, but I still did it. Being a man means acting the way you're supposed to act, regardless of how you feel. Stop letting feelings dictate your every move. Focus on action and duty, a path many wrongly associate with weakness, but is in fact the bedrock of strength. Men of action built this world, every skyscraper. They felt scared, but they did it anyway. Stop worrying about how you feel and start worrying about what you're supposed to be doing. You constantly experience emotions, bliss, joy, faith, but also worry, stress, depression, frustration. We often replay negative emotions even when we know they don't serve us, simply out of habit. The quality of your emotions directly determines the quality of your life. As it says in 1 Corinthians, we become unspiritual when controlled by ordinary impulses. Yet so many people let their feelings run their entire lives. They lash out when they feel like it, wallow in depression, or act impatiently in traffic. But to achieve any victory, we cannot simply give in to these impulses. Feelings can lead us into deep trouble, and life will constantly present opportunities to lose your temper, feel depressed, or become frustrated. We must choose wisdom, doing what we know is right, instead of blindly following our emotions. You might feel strong emotions rising within you, but you don't have to surrender to them. Just because an emotion surfaces doesn't mean you have to get on board. When you feel tempted to say something you shouldn't or to succumb to discouragement, you must actively choose not to engage. Learn to discipline these negative feelings and maintain a positive attitude anyway. It's in facing these hard challenges that God develops our character. When someone offends us and we choose the high road, refusing to let it bother us, that's genuine maturity. The problem is too many people today are unwilling to pay the price for victory. They crave the easy way out, letting their flesh have its way. To truly grow and experience life's best, hard work is non-negotiable. Maintaining a good attitude and patience when everything goes wrong is tough, and it will often make you uncomfortable. There are two kinds of pain in life: the pain of discipline and the pain of regret. A lazy, undisciplined life, driven by emotional impulses, inevitably leads to poor choices and profound regret. The pain of discipline endured now is minuscule compared to the lasting agony of regret. No discipline feels pleasant in the moment, but it yields a harvest of great things later. If you constantly indulge your impulses, you will later face significant regrets. Letting yourself be perpetually upset, impatient, or stressed out will eventually take its toll on your health. Loosening your morals and doing whatever you feel like might offer temporary pleasure, but it will extract a very heavy price in the long run. God will only elevate you as high as your character allows. He won't place you in a position of greater leadership if you disrespect people now, or if you're lazy and unfaithful in your current duties. If you're still battling the same temper issues you had a decade ago, that stagnant lack of growth is blocking you from God's best. If you do your part, grow up a little, quit being ruled by your feelings, God will begin to increase you. Difficult times aren't punishments, they're opportunities for growth. God might be trying to forge something profound within you. If you consistently find yourself surrounded by people who offend or hurt your feelings, it might be God teaching you to be less sensitive. If people constantly irritate you, perhaps He's teaching you patience and how to love the unlovely. Stop blaming your children or circumstances. God won't change them until you first allow Him to change you. Look inward. Let God do His work, and then your circumstances and the people around you will shift. As long as we fail the test, we'll have to take it again and again. Do not get on board with your feelings. We cannot control every external circumstance, but we absolutely can control our responses. When emotions surge, instead of praying for the situation to change, pray for strength to remain calm, to rule over your emotions. God desires for us to be stable and consistent, which means learning to live beyond our feelings and discipline these negative impulses. You don't have to get upset just because things don't go your way. Make your flesh stay calm, pass that test, and walk away as the bigger person. Don't let others steal your joy. Keep yourself calm. This is a conscious decision you must make. God won't make it for you. You must discipline yourself. The next time you're tempted to simply follow your feelings, remember God has promised that it is not too difficult for you to handle. You can overcome, you can withstand it. Just because an emotion arises, you do not have to get on board. Acting on these emotional impulses inevitably leads to poor choices that you will later regret.